This happened when I was only in my junior year in computer science. It was during our summer classes when Chriselle and I started to get close with each other. She has a lot of friends, but she never had someone she disclosed a secret to or can get along with well, except me. She is a darling, someone you'll find easy to talk to, kind, has a knack for fashion, and an absolute Madonna in programming. It all started when we were studying at the school cafeteria. "Who do you think wrote this?" she asked and gave me a stationery paper. I laughed because in this kind of generation, who would use stationery paper to confess their love, or even a love letter? "I think you're the prettiest in the world, Chriselle. You're my sunshine, my love," signed Mr. Blue. "Well, someone loves you. That's the fact I see here," I replied, and gave the letter back to her. But in reality, everyone would surely fall in love with her. She's the perfect woman you could ever have. Chriselle flicked her fingers at me and gave me a sharp look. Uh-oh, the Madonna is serious. "It could be someone from our class, who knows? Besides, it's a love letter. Come on, appreciate it," I continued and swayed her look away. She seemed to have taken my advice and shrugged the letter off, placing it in one of her notebooks as she continued reading her notes. One time she texted me. She said she wanted to meet up tonight, and we agreed to meet at the coffee shop located at Upper Session Road. She said she wants to tell me something important. I arrived there late due to traffic caused by people rallying for some agenda. When I entered the shop, she quickly took notice of me, waved her hand and signed for me to sit there. The shop is my favorite. Live band music, you can see the people walking outside, the drizzle visible from the shop's window glass, and the clink of the glass and ice in someone's drink is a vision you can visualize every night. A perfect place for chrysalism. "So, what's this thing you wanted to tell me?" I asked, straight to the point. She looks worried and she was playing with the lemonade drink with her straw. "Remember the love letter I showed you before?" she asked, her voice weak, worried and terrified. "Yeah, from Mr. Blue," I confirmed. She nods and looks at me intently. "At first, I received it on my seat. I thought it stopped there, but currently I get tons of love letters from him in my mailbox. It's getting creepy," she explained. When she saw that I was seemingly not convinced, she opened her bag next to her seat and reached for almost a dozen letters from Mr. Blue. Most of them were about his admiration for her beauty. "I like your shirt, Chriselle," Mr. Blue. "Awesome skirt. I love your smile when you walk out of your house going to school, Mr. Blue." I agree, that sounds creepy to me. Is he watching Chriselle going home? Perhaps even when she's in class. This means that whoever is writing these love letters, he's someone close. An obsessed fan? A stalker? "That does not end there," she continued. I looked at her, puzzled with her remark. "What do you mean?" She hesitated to tell me what it was. She blushed, but she started to talk. Perhaps something that she can only tell to a girl, but since she trusts me, starts to spill it out. "2 of my underwear are missing. I did laundry yesterday, and when I went to school and returned home, I only have 6 on the hanger," she whispered, cusping her right hand fingers to her lips to avoid alerting the customers in the shop. "What? Do you think it's the same guy?" I answered, surprised. "Well, who else would it be? If it was a different person, then he could have done it for a long time already. Why now?" She has a point. Whoever this Mr. Blue guy is, not only is he a creep, but an underwear thief as well. Oh boy. It reminds me of someone. "I guess you should report it to the police," I said, and calmed her. "No one would believe me. Police officers usually scoff at this idea. I tried doing it once and they said it probably just fell or I lost it, she replied, feeling dismayed over the matter as she drinks her lemonade. Well, police officers usually need physical evidence. Not only is this a non-viable case, but the creeper never made anything wrong. Yet. The underwear thief could be a different person, and that widens out the gap of who to arrest, the creep or the thief. I tried everything to calm her, until we decided that if the creeper does something more than stealing her underwear, then we'd have to file a report. I accompanied her home and went home as well. I remembered I wanted to tell her that I'm inviting her to go with me on a book launch of her favorite mystery author, John Ray Mendoza. I dialed her phone quickly and eager to tell her the news. It rang a few times before she answered from the other line. "Hello, Alden. Good evening. What made you call?" she asked. "Hey, Chriselle. Nice bathrobe. You finished taking a bath yet?" I asked. There was a pause before she answered. "How did you know that I'm wearing a bathrobe right now? How did you know I finished taking a bath?" "Well, that's because..." I did not finish explaining and dropped the call. I opened the closet where I actually hid myself. As she turns to me, surprised, shocked, I can see her knees trembling. "That's because I am Mr. Blue," I replied as I took out my stun gun. "Oh, the book launch?" I lied. "That is actually next week. Remember when I told you about that someone I remember that steals underwear? I was reminded of myself. Oh wait, I was the one who stole her underwear." I saw Death herself one day. It was a beautiful sunny winter day. I was riding the tram, lost in my thoughts. I was looking out of the window. The blazing sun in my eyes gave me a feeling of warmth. After a while, I looked around inside the vehicle. My gaze stopped immediately as it fixated on the girl in front of me. I don't know why, but somehow she caught my attention. She was looking out of the window, lost in thought and daydreams, just like I had been before. I felt safe that I could discreetly look at her without her noticing. There was something special about her. Maybe something a little weird, but I couldn't figure out what it was. She was pretty, but also kind of mousy. She was young, maybe 20, and rather small. Her eyes were light green, and she wore a big slouchy wool cap over her dark brown hair, and her body was wrapped in layers of dark green, brown, blue, and black winter clothes. There was a backpack sitting on her lap. She had on stockings. Her legs were... Oh shit, she saw me looking. I immediately looked out of the window as if something was fascinating going on out there. After a while, checked to see if she was still looking at me. She was. Her eyes were fixed on me. Her expression was calm, warm even. She wouldn't let go, so I took all of my courage and looked her directly in the eyes. We held each other's gazes for a while. I was nervous at first, but her eyes made me relax away. We just looked at each other without saying a word, and somehow it felt natural. She started to smile. My heart skipped a beat and I smiled back. "So, how are you?" I asked. I would never spontaneously talk to a girl on public transport. I was much too shy, but she made me feel so relaxed and confident. "I'm fine, thank you. And how are you?" Her voice was beautiful and gentle. "I'm fine as well, thank you." I didn't know what to say after that, so we just looked at each other for a while. I was drowning in her eyes. Keep the conversation going before she gets out, I thought. So, where are you going? I asked, clumsily. To a funeral, she answered. Oh, I'm so sorry, I said, breaking a sweat. Don't be. It's only a small one. I'll be okay. She smiled again. Okay, I said. I had a feeling that I was really bad at this, and slowly started getting nervous. Her smile, however, calmed me right down. She made me feel so safe, so warm, so... What's in the backpack? I asked. My boyfriend's head, she said with a smile. I chuckled. I like weird girls. But then I noticed something. There was a dark red fluid coming from the backpack, running down her legs, forming a little red pool on the floor. My brain kind of stood still for a second. Something about this situation just got very serious. I looked at her face and smiled awkwardly, looking for that gotcha expression, but it never came. She just smiled calmly. Was she serious? But it's impossible, right? Why do you have his head in your backpack? I asked. We didn't get along anymore. We had a really good time, but all good things do have to end someday. I see. Did you kill him? I was kind of running on autopilot. She looked out of the window dreamily and started petting the backpack like a cat. You know, life is like that sometimes. We met 2 years ago. He picked me up from a very bad state. He made me laugh, showed me the nice things in life. He taught me to be happy again. And then, one day, I saw him in bed with... She stopped with a lump in her throat and squeezed her backpack so that the red liquid oozed from it. Her eyes got wet. She caught herself again and continued. But it's okay. I've lost him, but I still know how to be happy. That's what I learned, and I don't need him for that anymore. Glad to hear that. She smiled at me. It was heartwarming. I'm gonna bury him in a park, under the tree where we had our first kiss. I'm sure he would have liked that, I replied. Somehow the whole situation was just pleasant. I liked talking to this girl. After a moment of silently smiling at each other, she said, I have to get out soon. Would you like to grab a cup of coffee sometime? Her question caught me off guard. I felt like a little boy, not knowing what I should and wanted to do. I smiled and blushed. Then I looked at her. Her warm smile, her beautiful green eyes. I opened my mouth to say yes, but suddenly a strange, forgotten instinct kicked in, and instead I asked, Did you love him? She didn't reply. Her gaze became sad and serious, and her smile turned into a bitter frown. A single tear rolled down her cheek. She looked at me with an unfathomable sadness, and I looked back at her with all the compassion that I could offer. She wiped her face dry with her sleeve, got up, and got out. I never saw her again. To this day, I tell myself that she made a joke, or that she was just being weird. I could have gone on a date with her. Of course, she didn't kill her boyfriend. But if I'm completely honest with myself, I know. I saw death that day, and she was beautiful. A few days later, these strange men knocked on my door and asked me questions about a girl that I may have seen or chatted to. I decided to say that I had not. Something caught my eye. They had a symbol on their right chest that looked like a circle with 3 arrows pointing out from the sides.